raise that, is what I'm saying. We have to be comfortable saying, if you don't play 10 times a month, then you're not a pass person.
Yeah.
You should be going and paying green fees. And so we're kind of raising the ante.
Pull that back up, please.
Did you look at, go ahead, Randy, sir.
So, Marcia said something about, well, if you raise it $10, you do that, you're still not going to have anybody in the cost per round that's going to be over $27.
Good
See,
math.
that's a push though, because they can green fee for 27. So that's not
But not if we raise green fees.
right.
And I'll be honest, green fees, we could probably do a $3 or $4 increase and nobody would ever say a word.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
don't.
So if you increase green
It's a
fees, you
different
have.
mindset with the green fees.
I would assume that you're not just talking about season passes, you're also talking about a green fee.
We're doing both. And she's saying like, how do we balance? Make it
That's what I'm saying. We can't look at this in a vacuum.
Right.
We've got to look
Yeah.
at the two things side by side. And we have to decide in our heads, who do we want to have access to passes? If we only want to do that for people who pay 10 times a month or play 12 times a month, then that helps us with the math we go back to.
Right.
Because the rest of them aren't going to quit playing golf. I mean, if I regularly now play 6 times a month and I have a pass because it still makes sense to me and I'm a senior, it makes sense to me to do that.
Well, that's the way they've always looked at it.
That's the way they've always looked at it. And you know what? Those people may say, you know what? I'm not buying that pass anymore. I'm just gonna pay my green fees. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a person that's only playing a couple times a month.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 rounds and you.
Yeah.
Look at Randy.
They may be the one that just says, when the garage is done.
Yeah, I did.
Exactly.
Because,
Yeah.
so I looked at the most senior discount I could find was 15%. Nobody does above 15%. We're doing 40.
That's something that we all agree with, the whole premise, but this is something that you're saddled with at the time. So, and we've already looked at increasing some of the.
Oh, I agree. And I'm not trying to pick on seniors. I'm just saying, if you look at the numbers, that's like the most obvious place you would go.
There's no
I
question.
mean, it's not rocket science. It's strictly the numbers.
Obvious, it's not always what happens.
And it's also where you will get the most kickback too. I'll guarantee you that. And I mean, I don't want to scare seniors away. I mean, they got 47,000 rounds last year. Do you know how many carts they rented and how many range balls they did? How much concession they bring? I mean, these people are coming, they're bringing their money to us. I mean, the last thing you want to do is push anybody away. It's not the point at all.
But to gently nudge them from a pass player to a green fee payer is okay, I think.
Sorry, say it again.
To gently nudge some of those people from being a pass player to a green fee payer.
Yeah, that's an individual.
That's
makes sense.
another thing to think. There are some seniors that walk, there's quite a few, but some of these guys that are playing 20 rounds a month, they're also paying $15 every time they come for a card. So here's $300 a month they're paying for cards on top of that. So they're, I mean, like you say, they are spending money.
Yeah, you never want to turn people. If you're running a business, you want people coming through the door. I mean, that's just 101.
That's a lot of rounds.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So
I
don't have,
think a generic number, pick a number that, number one, I'd like to see all those cents out of there. Just pick a number to each category that gets rid of the 83 cents. And
We talked about trying over the winter to get everything to an even number.
Yeah.
Everything.
Makes sense.
No, it does not make sense. It makes dollars.
take care of that and
Making sense.
just balance those out using that premise. Whether it's $2.37 or $1.98 or whatever it is. That's, and when you got 85,000 rounds of just across the counter pay, some guy coming in, putting down a green fee, and if you're raising that $2, you're raising $170,000 already.
90, I don't remember the number, 90.
I thought we had like
1,000 or something.
95,000 last year. So,
$2 on green fees, we're close.
yeah.
whatever we do here.
And we still, and raise these guys. I mean, you may go $2 on a green fee and $5 on this, just like you're saying, or whatever the even number is.
So,
A small bump to green fees and a small bump here, we could easily get to.
yeah, if you,
Quick.
if you raise everything $5, now the seniors are getting a 39% discount off of the adult pass.
See, we're gaining on
Hey.
Sure. I take this.
it.
If you're selling
Yeah.
30,000 buckets of golf balls on the range and raise it 50 cents, you made 15. So I would like to see that. I don't want to see it lower, but I'd like to see an even price on all those buckets of balls.
I like the idea of going to the even numbers.
Yeah.
I would say if you round those numbers up to, so 85 goes to 86, the 123 goes to 124, 139 goes to 50, 143, and 75 goes to 76.
I hate to ask you to do this, but I'm just looking at the current rate. So young adults, 80.98. You say go to what? 86?
86,
Six.
Okay, and adult is 118.12, go to 120,
124.
go up $5 plus the change. Couples go to 140.
Cup 143.
Why 143? I'm confused.
1.5.
So instead of
Oh,
$5, it goes up $7.50.
I'm with you.
And then seniors go up 76.
76 on seniors.
Those numbers in, what did I pay?
If that was in Excel, I could plug them in right there and it would flow out. It's all,
That's just an Excel. He can walk up here and do that if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got a formula already put in there or not, but.
yeah, formula's in there.
Let's do that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I can do it. If you want me to.
Do that and then raise 50 cents on range balls and $2 across on your standard green fee.
I vote for that.
Type it in,
Yeah, that's another.
escape,
I'm sorry.
push escape real quick. And then type it in, just the 86.
Space and then 80, there you go.
So
Dang. Keyboard's too low. Alright.
Oh, one more time.
Wow. 76.
76, yeah.
You did that. Just
20.
brings it up.
if you put those numbers out and then added the 50 cents for the range balls and the $2 for green fee, just a standard green fee rate. Put that out for roughly, here, in all the courses, see if you get any feedback on this spring. This isn't something you have to do right now. You're talking this March, next
Yeah.
March, right?
Range balls. And then what are we talking about on green fees?
Couple bucks.
$2.
Nobody's gonna be shocked by a $2 raise in green fees.
I think we go 3.
Oh, yeah. I'm
If you
starting.
want, I mean, that's,
Extra.
I think that's where you pull in your cushion because in this day and age, $2 is,
$2 on the, during the week and 3 on the weekend or something like that. I can.
you could do that, I think.
Is that already an even number on the green fees? Like,
Yeah,
yes.
30 and 32. I was just looking.
When you ask me what it is, I'll look at it. There's a green fee, there's equipment replacement fund, there's a cart fee. So that's only in my mind. So that's why I gotta look at him like, what does the customer see? I can't.
I think in the weekend fee at Auburn, 47.
37.
No,
I'm looking at,
That includes,
Yeah. Include carts.
I always think food carts in my mind.
so
52 on the weekend at Auburn.
including car.
I don't see anybody even, they don't even know what, they just throw a card. They don't even know what you said most of the time.
And if they do, they're like, are you serious? I played such and such for 80.
All the others are at 30 and 32, 30 Monday through Friday and 32 Saturday and Sunday.
I think the green fees alone would get us probably close to 200,000. Range balls could get us 15 grand.
You putting out 30,000 bags or buckets?
Yeah. And then if you, memberships, we get us 120. So right there, we're at $335,000 increase.
So I would suggest, I don't know if you have to have a vote on that or not, that we work that out and then post it for any type of public comment. I mean, you're gonna get negative stuff, but I'm hoping that, you'd get some comment that says, but be sure and put mandated by the council, I think.
And what is
Not that I'm trying to shift the blame off of us, but
Make sure they understand it's to improve.
yeah, but it is for all course improvements, which benefits all. Sound acceptable? Need a motion on that?
Just to develop the numbers.
No.
Just to put that out for comment. No, I can bring that up. So if nothing changed, round stayed the same, all the members stayed, I'm coming up with $335,000 increase just by doing membership increases. Range ball is going up 50 cents, doing even 9, green fees $2 on the weekday, $3 on the weekend.
235,
335.
335.
You said,
And for the purpose of the conversation, guys, I know that that's gonna look good on the books if it's initiated and then we go to it. But we need to think long run, because I think that those systems are gonna come in more expensive than you think. We're gonna have to offset some of that council money more than we may have anticipated.
Yeah, and it's like Jesse said too, if we're gonna do this, let's do it once and then let's not worry about it for a year or two. Let's take care of the problem.
Yes, it's odd as we go through and you talk to the guys and various people about, oh, if we just do this, we do that, we got it passed. And the first thing I got, some feedback from some of the guys that work on the facilities was, well, if we added here and we added there and boom, I mean, you added over your 1.5 that we had anticipated, so.
And every head they add is $2,500.
Yeah,
You get an architect that draws out a plan that they've put a lot of effort into, and then you come back, well, I'd like one here, I'd like one here, I'd like one here, I'd like to add 3 here. Well, now we just went up $80,000. I mean, it's.
when they put those plans out, they put a per unit cost on there, so there's no argument about if you say put a head here, okay, that's 2,500 or whatever their per unit cost was, so.
Between 23 and 2,500 is what they said. That's to run the extra piping, the wire. That's kind of the average what it comes out to.
But like I said, everything's going up and busier people are, the more it costs you.
And Auburn is 3 years away, so what's the price going to be then? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. So while we're doing this with the irrigation systems, Mike was saying that there's a certain kind of wire that you can put out there where they can draw off if they need electricity out at certain points. Am I correct in what
Well,
you're saying?
the
Or-
system that they're looking at doesn't have that kind of wiring on it, the 2-wire system where you can just go tap into it and have power to charge your units. It just doesn't have it. Now, if they change to where you got power wire going to a satellite sitting out there the way we got it right now, you got 110 to it. So no big deal then, but if you don't have that system, it's not.
Right, so, and I don't know what the codes are, but hypothetically, if they put another line while they're, doing the work, digging or whatever, I don't know if they're trenching or fiber plowing, I don't know how they're putting this stuff in, but hypothetically, while we're putting it in, could they also put in another separate conduit that held the electrical line that would be all over the course for
All
us?
that does
Well, I know it would be more money, I understand that
the
too.
cost of it.
That if you want to plan on going,
After the fact, yeah.
if you want to plan on going to the autonomous.
Well, that's why I was curious whether
Yeah.
they got another charging style system that they're developing to run those off of.
Well, and maybe they develop a solar that does have a 20 amp charge. I don't know. I mean, that's very feasible also. I mean, you know how technology goes.
Yeah, well, if you go to a power wire has to be in a separate trench and conduit by code.
Worth it to, if all we're doing is putting it out for public comment, is it worth it to even bump those a little bit more? So then when we set them, we can,
Maybe we listened to you and we came back if that's what the case is.
so I agree, I think. I hate using Auburn as the bar every time, but that is gonna be an expensive project in 3 years.
Yeah, when they originally did,
3 years too.
Auburn was projected for $2 million on our original projection, wasn't it? 2.5. We had already decided that it was gonna be a lot more expensive at Auburn anyway, but
Is that a now cost? I mean, did they know we were looking at it in the future, or were you asking what it would cost if I was to do it right now?
Not right now. So, yeah.
Auburn was.
And that was the guess. The only one we got an actual drawing was for Sim, and they actually think that one could possibly come in under because it's so appealing. Auburn is not gonna be that way. Nobody's gonna want that. It's gonna be a nightmare. Miles that way, whatever it is, whatever it is, mile and a half or whatever.
You're not really crossing streets at Sand Park, you know, everything zip, zip, bang, bang. So.
So you're saying maybe bump this
So
up a little
he
more?
was saying those numbers, yeah, the numbers we plugged in there. Shit, I mean, bump them.
Well, what you could do for public comment is
Total
rather than
acting.
doing specifics, you could say, we're looking at, a $7.50 increase or an $8 increase. You could give a number. As for the public comments, they're gonna rip us. So then we come back with the numbers that are like this and say, okay, we heard you. Here's what we decided.
We have to put an amount in there. Could we ask the public, like, we've got to come up with $200,000 to get our water system correct and say, what is your suggestions?
I don't
We're
think you're gonna
saying-
have the knowledge to make
Well-
it smart. But if we say we're looking at the necessity to come up with $200,000, and that may mean an $8 increase in memberships.
My experience with that stuff, it's better to say, do you like A, B, or C instead of what do you want to do? That
Yeah.
it's.
That's what I'm saying, you gotta give them a specific.
And what he's getting at is it needs to be more than 200 because Auburn's.
Oh, yeah, yeah, put it out.
I mean, every time you bump it up $1, it seems to make a difference on the delta at the end. No problem going another $1 on all of those, and it's what it is. But
Another,
Well, they're always gonna say, take the lowest. You may B and C.
That's to me, the scary part is we can do whatever we want with these numbers, but price to redo tax in Auburn's gonna be.
yeah, Texas, because it spans such a huge distance. Auburn, because of all the little issues.
Those two projects are gonna be expensive.
I
Well,
had one in Virginia that it's a massive golf course. And that was 2 years ago, and it was, 2.6. And it was spread out more than Auburn. It was massive.
I think
Super nice course, but
when you get to Auburn, Auburn's gonna be the most expensive because you gotta cross the streets. You got individual holes that go through the housing development versus Texas, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's much easier to put it in text.
back, you got the ponds that are
Yeah.
a little bit of a problem, but yeah, Auburn is a whole different animal than the other
But
three.
it's also 3 years out. We can do another increase in 3 years. I mean, I'm not saying trying to be Pollyanna about it, but what we're doing right now with this increase doesn't have to pay for operating in 3 years.
True. Other thing, I mean, is what's gonna happen after November with the economy and everything else. I mean, golf could definitely be the first thing people have to start getting rid of. It's terrifying.
That's why these increases don't seem so drastic that I think it's gonna scare a lot of people away. I mean, you probably have some attrition,
Some
but
attrition. I think they're gonna quit playing golf. I tell you, the other thing, if we're gonna really get into this big time at the next meeting or whenever, I would still like to see some comparisons to area courses. Sand Creek and Heston and places like that. I don't know what those places charge, but I just kind of like it.
Though they're subsidized, like Sand Creek subsidized. They get 400 grand.
It's not apples to apples.
Yeah.
I know that, but I'm just thinking about when people are making their choices.
Yeah.
We need to know we need to know where their mind might be going.
Yeah.
so you just would want to know what their green fees are, what their passes are, that kind of stuff. I mean, I can put something together and roll that up.
I would like to see that, just because like I say, if we're thinking about the average Joe out or Jane out there making choices, let's make sure we have
Hidden
it.
Lakes, they wait for us to do an increase and then they do an increase. I talk to them all the time. He's like, "Yo, you raise your rates already?" So I can, they do. You think like Sand Creek, if what I've heard is correct, they get 400,000. I mean, it's the same, you get 1.6 million every year. I mean, it's easier to keep rates a little lower if we had that coming in.
No, I totally get that, but I'm just thinking we need to keep in mind what our folks are making a choice of.
Yep. You gotta know who you're competing against.
So as far as putting something out, what do you think? Start working on that. But do you think I go with, well, yeah, do you think I bump that up a couple bucks? Each dollar we go up is about $18,000.
Much.
$18,000
Well, you're just talking,
for every dollar that we raise. If we raise all the
you're
members.
just speaking in reference to passes, you get.
Right. Yeah,
Go
yeah.
up another buck on a green fee, you're talking $95,000.
No, I'll get to that. I'm saying, looking at the passes first. There do we go? 126, 145 and 78, $2 more each or?
So right now, if you put something out, these numbers raise it $5 and some change, right?
Right.
Just put it out on the passes only. Don't even address green fee, standard green fee.
Personally, I know I'm not the.
That's all right. 5B.
It's easy just to plug it in.
1600.
That's what I would do.
Oh, not 1600. I did that wrong.
Darius, you got the column, bud.
Go ahead and add another dollar on each of those and then see what it looks like.
Yep, go to 87. No.
It's really fun.
87 there.
Really fun trying to type on that thing with your hand underneath the wood thing. You got that much.
24. Perfect. 77.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's not a 20.
Yeah, you're right, but.
Yeah. 20 grand. Yeah, I did that wrong. I did 1500. So
Personally, I know I'm not the one getting the comments and emails and phone calls. I wouldn't be afraid of bumping at 10 and seeing what feedback is. I mean, for the people that are truly buying the membership to be able to use the pass as a pass and plays a lot of golf, $120 a year is.
But okay.
I mean, just
I don't
Yeah.
think your 135 is right? It'd be 145.
Yeah.
144. Or 140. Yeah, either way. That's weird.
That dude.
Thank you.
Hold on. 86. jumped up a lot. You jumped up $4.
If you wanna
I
get,
just said 10, flat 10 increase.
when you start getting into comparisons,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, okay.
I think,
He was,
Oh, okay. I see.
he was raising us. Okay, I
Hang on, him do that.
understand.
So if you put out, you're gonna raise it 10 and you get a bunch of feedback. Oh, I'll never play golf again kind of thing, then you're gonna say, okay, we'll really only go 5. I mean,
well, it becomes worthwhile to drive to Newton at $1,200
It's
a year.
almost like when gas was $2. When gas was $2 a gallon, it went to $3.50.
Times.
Yeah, well, I know, but,
When gas was $2 a gallon, it went to $3.50. Everybody went ballistic. It went back down to $3 and everybody was happy.
true.
Still $1 more than what it used to be, and everybody thought that was okay now.
No, I disagree with the concept. I'm just trying to think of a process here.
That traffic number you put at the end of the agenda email, that is it's astonishing to me. Because I know you mentioned November, and we talk a lot about that at my place of work too, but I don't see a situation that there's that drastic of a drop off of golf to truly affect times being filled at these golf
No, I
courses.
think we'll be, well, and if we were a private owned business, I'd be 100%, we're doing a business move. There's another element here that you don't have somewhere else, that if people that, I mean, the squeaky wheel gets the trees, I mean, if people throw a big enough fit, they react.
General public still thinks that golf is subsidized by the city. And already
I don't
changed
think
that.
anybody seriously consider it 10. I think they're saying, tell them 10 and give them 5.
something to that.
It's negotiations, yeah, I understand the concept. I'm just saying, if you put 10 out there, you're really gonna hear it. I mean, we raised 12 last time, so I think,
There was more time between then and now.
Yeah, it's a pretty significant
Right.
increase over a couple, 3
I
years.
still hear a few things every now and again, because that was last year.
When do you think this would have to go into
Yeah.
effect?
What's that?
When would this new increase have to go into effect?
March 1st. Yeah, we have some time, but and I wanna, once we definitely decide this is what we're gonna do, I would like at least 2 months of, putting it out there. I don't want anybody surprised. I wanna make sure we're educating on why we're doing it, how we come up with it, like every detail, be as transparent as possible. My point is, I don't wanna wait until February meeting to decide how we're gonna do this in 2 weeks.
Maybe I'm overthinking this, which I tend to do, but if I didn't know what I know, and I was out there and I got something that said, we'd like your opinion on a $10 increase, and I told you whatever, and then you came back in 30 days and you said, okay, we listened, and instead of 10, we'll do 5. I'd be pissed as hell, because I think you didn't need 10 in the first place, or you wouldn't be able to cut it in half. I think there's some kind of a happy medium there. You tell me 7 and you go, okay, we figured out a way we can do it for 5. I might buy into that, and I like the idea. Otherwise, I would think you didn't need 10 in the first place. You were jacking with me.
yeah. I almost think you just give them whatever we think we're gonna raise it. If we're gonna raise it 5 and some change, or 6 and some change, whatever it is, I'm just saying, I'd say just give them shoot them straight. This is what we're gonna do.
I don't. We have right here, maybe another $1 to get us to 350, or be more than that, be 370,000 if we went $1 more, so $6 and change.
Change.
850 to 9 on range balls, and maybe 3 and 4 on the green fees. That would put us at 375,000.
Yeah, and I would put it out like that as well, so that they know we're not just hitting the pass people, we're not just hitting the green feed people, we're trying to spread this out to make it manageable.
The video with Darren in that hole where he's fixing that water system.
Got a lot of those.
And say, we need new sprinkler system and we gotta come up with some money for it, guys. We need your help.
Part of the joke, I tell him, he sees my car, so he takes mud and puts it on.
For their discussion.
So what do you think about doing 6 plus the change, so
That's fine.
8098 would go to 87. Can you plug these in just so we can see them up there? So young adult, 87, 125, 144, 145, I don't know, and then 77. 40. Range balls would be 15,000. Green fees would be. I'd have to see how many weekday weekend, but should be around 240. Close to 400,000.
I've just put out the communication that you're talking about, the increase in pass rates. And wouldn't even worry about the putting out the daily rate, because people paying the daily rates, they don't really interested in
I
that.
think the only reason to, like he just said, to show that we're not just RU members, let's raise them all.
But I wouldn't,
Yeah, it just shows the members that it's not just them that.
just, I wouldn't start putting totals that this is gonna create out there though.
No, I see what you're saying. You don't want to say, and this will give us an extra 400,000.
Oh, yeah.
We only need.
Yeah, I mean, I just put it out, these are the proposed rates due to the council mandate,
Nobody's gonna do that, man.
and stay away from all total stuff. And
Yeah, yeah.
start getting your public input back, and, they're gonna scream and holler, but that's the number that you want to put out there, I'm kind of like, oh, sure, I would not be inclined to back off that number. So,
Yeah.
This is great. This is great.
15, fall underneath.
all right, any further discussion?
Okay.
There's this big mound. I just thought it was
We can go over this, all this other information too.
we're done. West side.
Oh, no kidding.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Bingo.
Randy, would you mind working on that market analysis and putting together the
Yeah,
other forces?
yeah, I'll put something together for.
Thanks for doing that too. That's
I-
a good
I-
place
I'll
to
send
start.
you that.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll work on,
Help us.
I'll work on kind of what we're gonna do. Public to the golfers and or maybe next board meeting, I'll have it ready.
I'm Blossom.
What are you looking at?